Jason Tao here. I am here to talk about my experience with the Target Test Prep course and how I used it to help me score my target for the GMAT Focus exam. Now, first, a little bit background on me. I am a finance and math major. I graduated from Northeastern in 2021, and I've been working at Bain & Company as a financial analyst since then. So it's been almost 3 years now. Just creeping up on 3 in the spring. And for reference, I took my first mock exam last year in June, so June of 2024, and I got a 575, and that was without like any studying at all. Genuinely, I looked at the format of the GMAT and I was like, okay, there's Quant, verbal reasoning, and data insights. And that was like all I knew basically going in. And then fast forward 5 months, November of 2024, I took the GMAT Focus and I scored a 695 on it. So definitely very pleased. I was aiming for a 675 to be honest. So hitting the 695 was like music to my ears, genuinely, and couldn't be more happy with my experience with Target Test Prep. So why did I choose Target Test Prep specifically? For me, I talked to my coworkers, a bunch of whom also went to B school, were considering business school, also applying, and they basically all recommended Target Test Prep. Among my outer circles and friend groups, I would say there was less consensus about which course people were using to apply. But I thought at the end of the day, I respect and look up to the people I work with a lot. And so that's what led me to pick Target Test Prep in general. And I will say the number one thing that people said was that the course was comprehensive. And, going in, I really didn't know what that meant. But I think my biggest takeaway after having done the course and used it for 4 or 5 months is that it is indeed very comprehensive. And I say that because there are just so many problems the course gives you, ranging across like basically everything you could ever imagine you would need for the GMAT Focus. And I really don't think I can overemphasize how well it prepares you in that sense. I really think if you put in the work and you take the time to study and complete the course, it is genuinely all you need for your GMAT prep. And I can say, like, for myself, I did not use anything else. Like, I didn't even consider using any other courses or websites or whatever to study for the GMAT Focus. And I think that was a really good decision. And I think on top of that, the best thing was I didn't have to think about what I was going to study each day either. Like, the study plan the website creates for you is super organized, extremely detailed, and I just followed it to a T, basically completed everything, and it got me to the score I wanted. So some general tips I would give as far as taking the GMAT Focus and especially using the Target Test Prep course goes. I would say, first of all, be ready to spend a good amount of time in preparation. I know that depends obviously on how close you are to your score, where you want to be overall. I know as you go towards the upper ends of the score, it definitely becomes harder to increase your score, I would say. And so I know for me, I wanted to go from a 575 to at least a 675. And that, in my mind, took about like 110, 120 hours. And it ended up taking about like 160, I would say. So it definitely takes time. Start early. I would definitely recommend starting and getting the GMAT over with, maybe before you even begin applying for business school. I know I technically, because I took it last fall, I could have actually applied at the same time, but I wanted to give myself time to fully focus on the exam itself and then apply and like prepare my essays and recommendations afterwards. So I think that was one of the best decisions I've made, and I would highly recommend that you follow that too. And so start early, study a little bit each day. I know it can be hard, especially after work, but just try to get even an hour or two in each day. Makes a big difference in, really getting those problems into your brain and making it through all of the lessons that target test prep has to offer. I think on top of that, you want to pace yourself at a good rate. I don't know what type of studier you are, what your study habits are, but don't try to load your schedule too much early on because you will get burnt out. It is a process and you want to be feeling good by the time the test comes. So you also don't want to schedule your test too soon in advance and then feel super crunched by the time the test gets there. I would say try to portion it out so you're doing maybe 1 to 2 hours 3 to 4 days a week, and then maybe on weekends and on Friday potentially you can do a little bit more and add like 3 to 5 hours in those days, and then whatever you think you could add on top of that fits your schedule as best. Do that. All right, so in summary, my first tip for acing the GMAT focus is 1, start your preparation early. Make sure that you pace yourself and do a bit each day and try not to get too burnt out. I think if you notice yourself getting burnt out, take a step back, relax, maybe step away for a day or two, reset your mind, and then hop back into it, because burning yourself out before test day is a huge mistake, and it'll really hurt you while you take the test. The second is, as far as the target test prep course is concerned, don't worry about whether or not it's comprehensive, because in my experience, at least, it is definitely comprehensive. And so you don't need to worry about like purchasing other materials, buying other courses, nothing like that. Just do the target test prep course to completion and you'll do great on the exam. And I guess with the exception that you'll have to buy the practice exams from the MBA website in order to take the practice exams, but I think that's a given. And the final thing that I'll add is try to emulate the conditions of the exam as best as possible while you're taking your mock exams. I think that's really huge in preparation. Getting yourself in that right mindset to ace the exam and truly believing in yourself comes with preparing exactly the way the exam day will go, because your body will be trained to do it. And so for me, that literally looked like going to the exam center, coming back, waiting some time, wearing the same clothes I was going to wear the day of, eating the same meal, doing the same preparation, like all of that, in order to make sure that I'd be able to repeat as much of it as possible the day of the exam. And yeah, that's all I've got. I hope this has been helpful to you, and best of luck on your studying journeys.